is there belief in the team that you can save this game tomorrow?
Yes, it is. We've got the day to bet. I'm sure we've done that before, so I'm sure we'll be able to do it tomorrow.
Just about that spell from Pat Cummins, where you eventually got out, like just how tough was it to face, and what was so tough about it to face?
It was just dark. That's what I felt. It was quite dark. So yeah, I mean, he's not slow, is he?
Sorry, just on that, like, so was the ball reversing a lot in that period?
No.
It did, like that.
No, it wasn't reversing a lot. It was minimal, and they just used the crease angles, maybe a hint, but not too much. No.
The LBW decision, you looked a bit surprised that it was given out. What did you make of it?
It was a spike. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too on about it. Decisions made. It is what it is.
Khaya, you and Temba took the initiative to try to take down Nathan Lyon, some great pull shots into the O'Reilly stand for 6 there. Was that a pre-plan in the change rooms to take him on, or was that just you two out in the middle adapting to the situation of the game?
That was just us in the middle. When you're out there, the conditions also dictate how you play. Certain shots become better options than others if it's turning or not turning, if the wicket's quick or slow. So we just felt like, okay, cool, we've got to be quite quick on our feet, whether you go down the wickets or you back in your crease.
You mentioned it was dark. Were you surprised that you were still in the field, given, I guess, the conditions in which they came off on day one, and also given Pat Cummins was bowling, so it was a quick one?
Can I leave it at that?
Just how does it feel after, obviously it's been an incredibly tough tour, and then you've had these days of sitting around in the dressing room? Is it difficult not to let stuff get into your head at that point, when it's been really tough and you've got lots of time in the dressing room to think about it?
Obviously, yeah, it's not been the greatest of tours, but I think the guys, as a team, we still in high spirits. Guys are learning. Yes, it's been difficult, and the small things aren't really going our way, but I mean, we're still growing, we're still pushing. You can see that you don't see too many dull faces. I think the one thing, and if the things aren't going too well, and then you almost like there's infighting or something like that, then you know that there's trouble. But there's none of that. So the guys, they're just trying, and they're pushing, they're working on their game. Cricket can work like that. I mean, I've played for a while, and you go through patches. It happens like that, and you learn from them. I'm sure players that have played international cricket for a long time have also had slumps, either as a team or personally. It happens. It's one of those things you can't run away from. It's part of the process of learning and growing.
Just overall, as you come to the end of the tour, how have you found the challenge of facing this Australian attack compared to other attacks you've faced in your career?
Well, I mean, it's a short international career, so I mean, I've only played against England and Australia, two top countries in terms of Test cricket, and it's been at their home grounds. It's been a good experience. The one thing for me that I've just, it's given me comfort that I'm able to play against the best. I'm able to, hold my own. It's just a matter of getting time and learning, and then dominating one day.
How's the pitch playing?
It felt like Pietermaritzburg. I'm from Durban, and our second home ground, well, before our structure changed, was Maritzburg. So yeah, it just felt like familiar for me, to be honest. It's not quick. It's turning every now and again, but it's playable. The shorter balls aren't really getting up. That's the only challenge, I would say, from a seamer perspective. So when it's short, you've got to really watch it, because sometimes you expect it to come up at their pace, but it doesn't really jump because of the pitch. So I think that's the one thing that you got to watch for. It's almost like you got to play the shorter ball instead of trying to get under it. I saw them when they were trying to duck. Some of them would duck and then it wouldn't really get up, and then you're almost just swaying all the time. That's the one thing. But it's a familiar, for me it felt quite familiar. It felt like I was playing in Maritzburg.
Can you give us a little insight into Marco Jansen, the character? Because he's been peppered with short balls in the last test and here as well. But he's kind of withstood it and like, you know, got over the line. So just as a senior teammate, like what have you made of him and like how much does he enjoy these battles?
No, he gets in the fight. You know, if he has to get hit, then so be it. He's a strong character mentally. He is young, but you can see that, you know, over the years, he's going to be a solid international cricketer. So, and he's way ahead of his time. That's what I've picked up from him, mentally and obviously skill-wise.
You mentioned the short length of your international test career so far, and it's been talked about a lot, South Africa's lack of games in the next cycle. So if you play every game for South Africa in the next 2 years, you probably will only be about 16 games or something in. So how do you keep getting better at batting at test level when you've got so few options? Do you have ideas for what you're going to do in the next couple of years?
Well, yeah. Well, if selected, I've got to make sure I perform to get myself to play every game and take all those experiences. But I think this year's test cycle has been challenging. It's been some solid teams that we've played against. We've had New Zealand, we've had Bangladesh, we've had India, we've had England away, and now we're in Australia. So yeah, I think this is definitely one of those things we're like, okay, cool. If you can get through this year as a test player, then you can play at this level. You should have that confidence. And then moving forward, it's about you performing and taking every opportunity that's afforded to you.
I guess, so what are your opportunities between tests? Where are you going to look for the opportunities to improve?
Well, as much cricket as you can get, I suppose. That's the only answer I'd have for you. It's as much cricket as you can get. If you've got some first-class stuff, then you go there and you nail that. If you've got some SAA stuff, you nail that as well. If you've got international cricket set up, I'm sure they'll try get more tests in between here and there. So hopefully we do get more cricket and we can grow as a team.
How's Dean Elgar's demeanour been through the series? It's been difficult being from Ryan's perspective. The team's been struggling. How has he held up, given such a heavy burden to be captain when the team's not going well and you're not getting runs yourself?
No, he's been in good spirits. Just him in the change room. You don't see any frustrations. I mean, I've been a captain before, and I know at domestic level, I know what it can be like. And if you're doing it at international level, I'm sure it's 10 times heavier. But he's handling it well, and you can see that he's experienced at the level and he's been around. So he sort of knows that, look, the wheel will turn. He's just got to stick to his processes, and the team will also gather more experience and will come right at some stage. And the sun will shine eventually. It won't stay like this, forever.